Hello everyone. I hope everyone is having really great time at CDCon 2021. I myself am enjoying it a lot, especially the remote workspace with so many amazing developers around the globe. So the topic of my lightning talk is machine learning Jenkins plugin for data science. And a very quick introduction about myself. I'm Shivai Lamba. I'm currently a Google Summer of Code mentor for TensorFlow. And last year, I was a Google Summer of Code mentor for Jenkins. And I'm also currently working as an open source engineer at Layer 5. For those people who might not be knowing about Layer 5, its main product is Meshery that helps for performance evaluation of different types of service meshes. And it's currently incubated under the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, that is CNCF. Now, before we move on to what exactly does the machine learning plugin does, so let's talk about a little about the history about the machine learning plugin. So the machine learning plugin was actually created as a Google Summer of Code project for the year of 2020. Now, for those people who might not be knowing what exactly is Google Summer of Code, Google Summer of Code is an open source initiative that is created by Google, and it invites over 100 plus different open source organizations to list their projects in during the summers, where students from universities take up these projects and they work during the summers and contribute to these open source projects. So Jenkins was also one of the organizations for 2020, and the machine learning plugin was one of the projects for which Logi was the lead student developer. Now, if you want to learn more about the machine learning plugin, you can actually go to the official plugins website of Jenkins, that is plugins.jenkins.io and slash machine hyphen learning, to learn more about the machine learning plugin and how to actually use it. And if you want to also see the live demo, you can actually visit the YouTube link that is there in this slide to see how the machine learning plugin is being used live, and to actually help you assist if you are stuck somewhere. Now, first of all, let's understand why there was actually a need for the machine learning plugin in the first place. So we all know today that machine learning is one of the most important computer science topics because it is being used literally everywhere in every industry, whether it's education, healthcare, or let's say in any kind of financial or industrial applications as well. But while machine learning is really great, when it comes to actually creating different types of machine learning pipelines, there is certainly a few drawbacks. So let's say that machine learning pipelines, when they are being created in notebooks like Jupyter Notebook or Zeppelin notebooks, they are really great to actually make you understand what exactly is going on in a step-by-step process. But they do lack standard software development practices like, let's say, test driven programming or code versioning that are very common in other formats of software development and are widely used across the industry, that are quite prevalent everywhere. So the main need for the Jenkins plugin was to actually create production grade machine learning workflows as Jenkins build, and integrating these Jenkins build tasks with the various notebook fragments that we have in the Jupyter notebooks as different types of build steps. So what actually does this actually help with is that the Jenkins plugin can actually help integrate various machine learning tasks that are out there and the various different types of algorithms as well to actually build different types of machine learning data systems, and that are very easier to maintain and deploy as well. So the essential goal of the machine learning plugin was to be able to create these deployment steps for the various machine learning steps. For example, we talk about the process of a machine learning pipeline that includes, let's say, steps as training, then deployment, testing, learning. All of these can be taken up as different machine learning build steps and can be executed so that these can be have a great production grade workflow using with the help of Jenkins. Now, the first question is like, why to actually choose Jenkins, right? So Jenkins build steps can actually take the various Jupyter notebook code fragments as the individual build steps. And because we have such a wide variety of different types of machine learning plugins that can actually directly be used within this particular different build steps. For example, the Git plugin can be used for source code management. Then we have different types of pipeline plugins that can be actually used for different kind of machine learning model management systems. And then we also have different types of analytic based plugins that can be used for, let's say, creation of different HTML or different kind of graphs that are usually prevalent when we are testing and we are evaluating the performance of the machine learning build steps. Now, let's actually go ahead and look at some of the features of the machine learning plugin. Now, one of them is kernel configuration. So the kernel configuration allows you to actually add new kernels. Now, if you want to, let's say, check what are the current kernels that are there in your system, so you can just use the command Jupyter kernel spec list that lists down all the currently supported kernels that are there in the Jupyter notebooks. And this actually allows you to create or add new kernels right into your Jenkins build steps. So you just need to add the name, the language, and what should be the launch timeout, and what should be the max number of results. And then that actually gives you the ability to add new kernels. Now, one of the more other important features is to actually create a wrapper. Now, this wrapper actually helps you to convert your notebooks into either, let's say, Python or JSON format. And it also helps you actually, let's say, rename your notebooks with the help of this particular wrapper. Now, one of the most important steps that is there inside of the machine learning plugin is the build scripts. So essentially, we can give any kind of a machine learning task name. So whether it's training, it's testing, it's the model deployment, or let's say it is the model learning phase, or it could be also the model making the model more efficient. So things like, making normalizing the model. So all those different kinds of steps can actually be given in the machine learning task name. And these will be helpful if you have certain artifacts, like let's say HTML, or let's say images, which will be actually saved under that particular name. And then you can also choose like the language kernel that you have built, like that you had described in one of the previous steps in which you were describing which particular kernel you want to use. Now, when we choose the input method, you can actually go ahead with, let's say, your custom code using, like, let's say, the text parser. Or let's say if you want to use one of your files, you can actually use the file path that can be used to also define which particular file that you actually want to use. So you can either create build scripts by creating your own custom code that is supported directly in the build step, or you can also run your custom scripts by adding the file path for your script that is there. So let's say if it's like a Jupyter notebook, you can add the notebook over here. And finally, you can also then create visual artifacts. So let's say if you have images or graphs, you can actually deploy them as, let's say, HTML pages and export them directly as images or as HTML pages, and you can refer them for evaluation of, or let's say to evaluate the results of the machine learning project that you have created. Now, to also understand how, like, the different kind of steps actually work, so the first step that you'll actually take place is configuring your kernel. Then you will actually create and go ahead and create like a Jenkins job. So it's a freestyle job. Then you're going to be adding the remote URL of your project. So it could be like a GitHub link, it could be a GitLab link, or like, let's say you can also use a project that is locally supported in your system. Then you have to go ahead and create the relevant build steps that are most important for your machine learning entire workflow, the pipeline that you have built. So it includes things like normalization, training, model deployment, training, right? So all those different steps can actually come ahead and be used inside of the build steps. And then finally, you will be actually building your machine learning plugin. So essentially what we are helping to do is that we are using the different kinds of steps that are usually involved in any kind of a machine learning workflow, and we are defining them as Jenkins build steps that actually help us to use them in a more production environment, and help to actually deploy them easily, use them, deploy them very easily with the help of Jenkins, as compared to what it was actually very difficult without using these kind of plugins for these machine learning pipelines and workflows. And finally, you can also have a look at these amazing list of resources. So if you want to actually go ahead and look at the source code, you can go to github.com/JenkinsCI and go to the machine learning plugin. If you want to look at the current list of issues that are there, you can go to issues.jenkins./ci.org. If you also want to join the Google Surf Code machine learning project, get a channel, you can go ahead and join that as well. And if you also want to, let's say, clone the demo machine learning pipeline that was being used by the student Loki, you can go ahead and use that as well. And if you want to see the list of currently supported kernels that are being supported by Jupyter, you can simply just go ahead and go to GitHub and Jupyter, and specifically for the wiki, and you can look at the currently supported Jupyter kernels. So that's pretty much it for my lightning talk. I hope that you liked it, and you can also connect with me on these social channels on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on GitHub. And feel free to ask me any questions that you have regarding Jenkins or machine learning, and I'll be more than happy to take those questions up. I hope you have a really amazing time at CDCon, and I can't wait to see everyone live next year in the in-person event. Thank you so much for watching.